Washington. First tonight, U.S. President Donald Trump wasting no time making his mark. We'll tell you the action he's taken in less than 24 hours and how Trump is already undoing Joe Biden's legacy. Just what does this mean for America and the world? Also, a new $300 million luxury development set to transform Paradise Island. The Ocean Club Four Seasons residences expected to create 1,000 construction jobs. And attention motorists, major changes to car insurance policies may impact your next licensing. The Insurance Commission enforcing new rules now requiring drivers to insure vehicles for 6 months before license renewal. Then in our news at 7:30. No need to panic. A former finance minister weighs in on the IMF's warning of a slowing economy, while the noted economist is reassuring Bahamians there's no cause for alarm. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Donald Trump is back in power. His historic inauguration has already left its mark, from powerful photos capturing key moments to a series of bold executive actions. The 47th President of the United States kicks off his second term with a clear agenda, but what does all this mean for everyday Americans, and just what impact will it have on us here in the Bahamas? Our Mission to Washington coverage dives into it all tonight. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kendino Knowles. In less than 24 hours, President Trump has pulled the United States from the Paris Accord on climate change, pardoned January 6th rioters, and indicated another policy shift on immigration. The new president signed a stack of executive orders Monday, reversing many of the Biden administration's policies. Our Jerome Sawyer is in Washington tonight with a look at which changes are going to impact us here at home. We'll check in with our Mission to Washington team in just a bit. But now to developments on the home front. Big news for Paradise Island as two roads development and access real estate have officially kicked off the Ocean Club Four Seasons Residences project. The $300 million luxury development promises to transform Paradise Island, creating 1,000 construction jobs and 200 permanent roles. It's all expected to boost the local economy and raise the bar for upscale living by 2028.
When Access Real Estate acquired this property over 10 years ago, we knew it was a special place, uniquely Caribbean and uniquely Bahamian. We saw ourselves as caretakers of the Ocean Club going forward, to build on its famous history while offering our guests the best service, hospitality, and cuisine possible. We've invested in the property and in our team to ensure that the future of the Ocean Club is even brighter than its past. And we will continue to invest in our mission as caretakers, not just as owners.
That was Hospitality Access Industries Director Annie Wickstorm speaking at the groundbreaking today. An agreement with government will improve access to Cabbage Beach by creating a new 15-foot wide landscape path and modernized vendor stalls for local entrepreneurs. Tourism, Investments and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper emphasized the agreement's importance, noting its positive impact on both the community and the country's economic future.
Cabbage Beach, one of our most beloved spots, will remain open to the public during construction. Post-construction will also see an improved public access through a permanent, irrevocable easement agreed with the government of the Bahamas. And further, Bahamian licensed vendors will be able to set up stalls for authentically Bahamian goods and services, helping small businesses to grow and empowering Bahamian entrepreneurs.
The Insurance Commission of the Bahamas making big changes to the country's vehicle insurance policy, and it could affect you if you're a driver. Originally, drivers were required to insure their vehicles within their birth month, but that's changing. As of January, new traffic laws require drivers to have vehicle insurance for at least 6 months before renewing their license. Insurance Commission Superintendent is Dana Munnings-Gray.
What you will know coming from it is that there will be a further amendment where the requirement to be licensed, to be insured in your birth month will be removed, but the Commission will continue to update the public on what is out there, what the amendments may be going forward.
And Munnings Gray says the changes follow years of rising public complaints and concerning statistics about uninsured vehicles and traffic accidents. She says along with altering renewal schedules, the Commission is exploring strategies to address non-compliance while improving road safety.
We've had, from day one, everyone was included to the table, so we've had that conversation. We've gotten assurances that everyone is on one page, and like I said, you will see further communication coming up.
A man who hid almost a quarter pound of marijuana in a child's potty and baby stroller has been fined and placed on probation. Devon Allen pleaded guilty to drug possession with intent to supply in relation to the seizure at his arraignment before Magistrate Raquel Wims. Armed with a search warrant, police say they searched Allen's home on Jumbe Drive and found 3 5/8 of an ounce valued at $370 in the children's items. The father of 3 was fined $2,000. He'll spend 5 months in prison if the money isn't paid. Allen will also be on probation for 1 year. A breach of that probation expected to result in a 4-month prison sentence. Well, the first polytechnic school set to open this year, according to Education Minister Glenys Anna Martin. The school aims to serve students who may not be as academically inclined, but still excel in technical and vocational education. Located at the former Bahamas Academy campus on Wolf Road, it will offer technical skills certifications and job readiness programs. Minister Hannah Martin says construction will be completed soon.
This creates another opportunity for core groupings of young people to pursue areas of their passion, and not just an area of their passion, but one that is so germane to our own collective pursuit and sustainability as a people. We have been bringing a very strong focus to technical and vocational education. We are hoping that in September we will be opening the new Polytechnic on Wolf Road, which will incorporate agriculture along with other subject offerings.
Our mission to Washington coverage comes back into focus now as Donald Trump, President of the United States, has pulled the U.S. from the Paris Accord on climate change. He's pardoned January 6 rioters and indicated, as we said at the top, another policy shift on immigration. The new president signed a stack of executive orders Monday, reversing many of the Biden administration's policies. Our Jerome Sawyer, he's in Washington tonight with a look at which changes are going to impact the Bahamas. Take a look.
To borrow a phrase, it's a new day in America, with the Trump administration moving swiftly to change course.
You're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America.
One of his first actions, withdrawal from the Paris Accord, a global initiative to slow climate change.
I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff. The United States will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes with impunity.
Another possibility, dropping membership to the World Health Organization, a global entity that manages and advises on almost every health issue. Then there's the intention to end automatic citizenship for children born to non-American parents, while his American base showing no signs of breaking from their support.
Hopefully groceries get cheaper, mortgage interest rates get lower.
I don't look at him as a bad man or anything. I look at him as an agent of doing right.
The sweeping pardons for the January 6th Capitol rioters and an appearance by the Proud Boys white supremacist group at the inauguration, indications of a possible trigger in racial tensions. Implications for the Bahamas are glaring, with the Davis administration hanging its hat on pushing climate change, not to mention the effects of the WHO withdrawal and shift in birthright policies.
The Bahamas must do what is in the national interest of the Bahamas, what is in the interest of the Bahamian people. And it is in the interest of every man, woman, and child in the Bahamas for the government to be consistent.
All right, our Jerome Sawyer there for us in Washington tonight, speaking with the United States Bahamian ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones. Be sure and stay tuned to our news at 7:30. Our coverage of Mission to Washington continues then. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, I spoke with the Mission to Washington team. It is still really cold.
Cold.
Still extremely cold and freezing. There feels like temperature much lower than what is actually forecast. So I'm glad that it's not us still. But here's the thing. The reason I bring that up is because we heard there in that report about Donald Trump removing the United States from the Paris Accord, the Paris Agreement. The fact is climate change is real for us.
It
right?
is real.
Yeah, and certainly something that we have been struggling with for quite a while.
You want to see something?
Watch when I
show you the radar. There's snow in North Florida. 6 inches in North Florida. So yeah, climate change is real. If you don't want to accept that by now, I don't know what else we could do. But yeah, 76, we're not getting the snow. We're getting some warm temperatures because we have a southerly flow. 76, few clouds. It's on the breezy side, southeast winds at 60 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 75. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 74 in Freeport, 75 Marsh Harbor, Abaco. We also pick up 74 in Allenstown, Bimini. A string of 76s, Great Harbor Key, Nicholstown, Andros, and over in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas, 76 in Kemps Bay, Arthurstown, Cat Island, and in Cobra Town, San Salvador. Pair of 78s in Georgetown, Deadman's Key, and into the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s there, with 78 in Duncantown, Ragged Island. We pick up 77s, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, as well as in Abrahams Bay. And Providenciales, Tricks and Kinkers Islands, and Matthewtown, Inagua, both sharing 79s at this hour. As I mentioned, snow across Florida. This blue stuff you see right here in the corner of the map, that is a low pressure system that's moving across the Gulf of Mexico. There's also another low across South Florida, and then a frontal boundary attached to that. That's going to continue to keep South Florida, as well, most of South Florida, in a cloudy and soupy mess. But that snow is streaking to the north and east across Georgia, and it's actually emanating from the Louisiana area. Not going to get down here, but that front is going to be getting into our area sometime by tomorrow, and then we expect a second front by Friday. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us to look at your extended forecast. It's still to come.
Coming up in sports, the highest-ranking prospect in the MLB International Signing Class for 2025 is headed to the minors. We'll tell you which franchise he'll call home.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
America's 47th President Donald J. Trump takes office on January 20th. With a decisive victory and clear mandate from the American people, what will his anticipated policy changes in immigration, taxation, climate change, foreign policy, and social reconstruction mean for the Bahamas and the region? Join On the Record with me, Jerome Sawyer, Thursday, January 23rd at 8 p.m. from the nation's capital for a special Mission to Washington.
Unleash resilience. Secure the digital future. Navigate the evolving landscape of cyber threats. The future will be secured. Presenting the Alive Business Cybersecurity Conference. Securing the future. Navigating cyber challenges in business. Thursday, February 20th, 2025. Atlantis, Paradise Island. Register today. This is how we unleash resilience. This is how we create innovation. Together, let's secure the digital future.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. One of the top prospects for the MLB International Signing Class for 2025, Aiden Johnson, made it official with the Athletics last night. Friends and family gathered at Bahamas Harvest Church to celebrate the 16-year-old beginning his minor league journey. Johnson, a 6'2", 180-pound shortstop out of the Fortuna training facility in Plant City, Florida, was ranked the number 12 international prospect by MLB Pipeline. One of the franchise's top signees in this period, Johnson received a signing bonus of $1.5 million, comparable to the bonus of $1.5 million for outfielder Brayson Guides, just over $1.5 million for two-way Japanese star Shotaro Mori, and $850,000 for number 16 overall prospect Darrell Ozuna.
The second Bahamian to compete on the Korn Ferry Tour this year, Devon Robinson's run in the Great Abaco Classic came to an end. Robinson finished 11 over the first 2 rounds and missed the cut line of 3 under par. He opened with a 77 in round 1, followed by a 78 in round 2. The tournament has been held on the opening week of the Korn Ferry Tour annually for the last 8 years at the Abaco Club on Winding Bay. The tournament attracts professional golfers from around the world looking to advance to the PGA Tour.
Coach Yo and Ole Miss made up some ground in the SEC, while VJ Edgecombe and the Baylor Bears may be in danger of falling out of the top 25 again. With one of the toughest schedules in the nation to start the season, Ole Miss continues to fight its way back into the top 25. They defeated in-state rival Mississippi State 71-63 on the road in Starkville. Ole Miss improved to 13-5, 4-2 in the SEC. On the men's side, Edgecombe and the 25th ranked Bears lost a pivotal game at home to the TCU Horned Frogs 74-71. Edgecombe finished with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as over 1,500 aid trucks enter Gaza in the first days of a recent ceasefire. Plus, the United Nations condemns Trump's exit from the WHO and the Paris Agreement. And Pope Francis slams Trump's deportation plans, calling it a disgrace. When our news returns.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. A ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is now in effect, with hostages from Gaza and Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails being released as part of the initial agreement. This as humanitarian aid is flowing into Gaza, with over 1,500 trucks entering in just 2 days. After 15 months of relentless war, the trucks are carrying critical supplies to the famine-stricken north. UN aid chief Tom Fletcher stresses the urgency, calling the needs staggering. The United Nations says it's disappointed with President Trump's decision to pull the U.S. out of the World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Agreement. A WHO spokesperson highlighted how much the United States has contributed to the global health effort, like wiping out smallpox and nearly ending polio. He also pointed out that the U.S. is WHO's biggest donor, covering 18% of its budget in 2023.
We hope the United States will reconsider, and we look forward to engaging in constructive dialogue to maintain the partnership between the United States of America and WHO for the benefit of the health and well-being of millions of people around the globe.
Pope Francis has criticized Donald Trump's plans to deport illegal migrants, calling them a, quote, disgrace in a recent Italian TV interview. He said such actions would unfairly punish vulnerable people who have nothing, and added that that's not how you solve problems. The Pope also sent Trump a message urging him to lead a society without hatred or discrimination and to promote peace. Pope Francis has previously described systematic efforts to expel migrants as a, quote, grave sin. And millions across the U.S. bracing for extreme winter weather with dangerously low temperatures and a rare southern snowstorm disrupting travel. Winter storm warnings stretch from Texas to Florida, where snow, sleet, and freezing rain are expected through Wednesday. In western New York, heavy lake effect snow could pile up to 2 feet in some areas. Forecasters say the Arctic blast will bring freezing temperatures to 70 million people, with parts of the Rockies and northern plains facing wind chills as low as negative 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The Gulf Coast and Florida Panhandle also under freeze warnings, threatening crops and plumbing. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was January 21st. Then in our news at 7:30, as the winter season wraps up, Sandals Resort sees nearly full bookings and anticipates 80% occupancy this summer. The hotel chief tells us how the recent U.S. election is influencing travel to the Bahamas. And Organization for Responsible Governance celebrates 10 years of impact. The executive director highlights growing enthusiasm, especially in the Family Islands. That's coming up when our news returns.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the R News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Donald Trump has been elected president, defeating Vice President Kamala Harris.
America has spoken. Donald J. Trump. On this day in Bahamian history. In 1955, this photo captured members of the Imperial Order Daughters of the Empire in their headquarters, which is now home to the Bahamas Historical Society Museum. The IODE was a women's volunteer organization and donated its building to the Bahamas Historical Society in 1976. The group promoted patriotism and loyalty to the Crown, while also raising funds for medical supplies and support for military personnel during both World Wars. Then, fast forward to 2019, when unemployment surged to 10.7% in May 2018, based on preliminary results from a labor force survey conducted in the prior 90 days.
According to the survey, as of November 2018, there were 25,135 people in the unemployed labor force, while there are 210,560 people in the employed labor force. The results of the labor force survey provided information on the labor force during the period of November 2018. 3,500 people were surveyed.
And finally, in 2020, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis pledged to reform the country's marijuana laws, calling it the decent and moral thing to do after receiving the completed Marijuana Commission report. He also voiced support for releasing individuals convicted of possessing small amounts of marijuana.
I support this expunging the records of Bahamians convicted of possession of small amounts of marijuana. They deserve to move on with their lives, free and clear of the stigma of a criminal conviction. Once our reformed laws are passed, and through proper legal mechanisms and procedures, I also support the release from prison of all those who are solely in prison for a small amount of marijuana.
A California-based humanitarian organization connecting with the Bahamas, or connecting the Bahamas, that is, with its 1,000 Smiles Dental Project. It provides 1,000 dental services to multiple organizations and school students here in New Providence. The group provided dental services to the two largest schools on the island, Sadie Curtis Primary School and Anatole Rogers High. Great Shape Inc. Executive Director Joseph Wright said the goal is to change people's lives.
We have roughly 35 providers, that's dentists and hygienists, providing services, so chairs, dental chairs set up, providing always 100% free fillings, extractions, cleanings, fluoride, exams, x-rays, sealants, dental sealants for children to prevent cavities. Sometimes we're able to do dentures, root canals, and some extended services.
And the Sandals Foundation, instrumental in this project being possible or being made possible in New Providence and Exuma. Bahamas Air also on board, providing complimentary round-trip tickets to Exuma for the team. Sales Executive Manager is Wilfred Mullings.
This partnership with Great Shapes, Inc. and the Sandals Foundation will bring brighter smiles and better health to the islands of Nassau and indeed Exuma.
All right, if you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now, Marlena Leonard. She's up with the latest headlines. Marlena?
Thanks, Ken. Well, as the winter season wraps up, a local resort sees nearly full bookings and anticipates 80% occupancy this summer. And find out how the recent U.S. election is influencing travel to the Bahamas. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight in our news live at 7:30, the mission to Washington continues. Donald Trump rolls out an ambitious agenda. How will it impact the Bahamas? More from the Bahamian ambassador to the United States straight ahead. And after a recent International Monetary Fund report forecasts a slowing in the Bahamian economy, should we be concerned? An economist and former state finance minister weighs in why he says there's no need to panic. Plus, deep in the winter season, a local resort still boasting nearly full occupancy and is projecting a very robust 2025. Why they say the recent U.S. presidential election is also having an impact on tourism. And how you can have the opportunity to learn the connection between climate, currency, and central banking, all thanks to a partnership between the University of the Bahamas and the Global Interdependence Center. All that and more when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Cold and pouring rain, so I decide to put her down.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckum, #1 in pest control services.
Trump is in power. His historic inauguration has already left its mark. From powerful photos capturing key moments to a series of bold executive actions, the 47th President of the United States kicks off his second term with a clear agenda. But what does all of this mean for everyday Americans, and just what impact will it have on us here in the Bahamas? Our Mission to Washington coverage dives into it all tonight. Welcome to Our News, and thanks for joining us. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Italia Hall. In less than 24 hours, President Trump has pulled the United States from the Paris Accord on climate change, pardoned January 6th rioters, and indicated another policy shift on immigration. The new president signed a stack of executive orders Monday, reversing many of the Biden administration's policies. Our Jerome Sawyer is in Washington tonight with a look at which changes are going to impact the Bahamas.
To borrow a phrase, it's a new day in America, with the Trump administration moving swiftly to change course.
You're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America.
One of his first actions, withdrawal from the Paris Accord, a global initiative to slow climate change.
I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff. The United States will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes with impunity.
Another possibility, dropping membership to the World Health Organization, a global entity that manages and advises on almost every health issue. Then there's the intention to end automatic citizenship for children born to non-American parents, while his American base showing no signs of breaking from their support.
Hopefully groceries get cheaper, mortgage interest rates get lower.
I don't look at him as a bad man or anything. I look at him as an agent of doing right.
The sweeping pardons for the January 6th Capitol rioters and an appearance by the Proud Boys white supremacist group at the inauguration, indications of a possible trigger in racial tensions. Implications for the Bahamas are glaring, with the Davis administration hanging its hat on pushing climate change, not to mention the effects of the WHO withdrawal and shift in birthright policies.
The Bahamas must do what is in the national interest of the Bahamas, what is in the interest of the Bahamian people. And it is in the interest of every man, woman, and child in the Bahamas for the government to be consistent.
That was Bahamian Ambassador to the United States, Wendell Jones, speaking with our Mission to Washington team. Be sure and join Jerome Sawyer this Thursday at 8 p.m. for a special edition of On the Record, when he sits down with Bahamians in the D.C. area about what a second Trump term looks like from the view of diaspora. And in about 2 minutes, we'll share some recent hotel occupancy numbers and projections post the recent U.S. election and how it's influencing travel to the Bahamas. So stay tuned for that. But first tonight, an economist and former state finance minister is weighing in on a recent International Monetary Fund report that forecasts a slowing in the Bahamian economy. He's insisting there's no need to panic. Joshua Williams reports.
The International Monetary Fund is showing signs of slowing down.
The IMF says the high costs of living, along with elevated public debt, structural bottlenecks to growth, and high exposure to natural disasters are the leading factors. But should taxpayers be concerned? Economist and former State Minister of Finance Zhivargo Lang doesn't think so.
There is always a range of possibilities, and among those could be that. It could be that higher cost of living results in people feeling less capable of affording what they have and then kind of curbing their spending.
On the other hand, the report praised the remarkable recovery in tourism and economic activity following Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and the COVID-19 pandemic. Lang says it's not shocking, believing the pandemic didn't stop the economy but put things on pause.
It's like you're turning your water off, the pipes weren't broken, and then you decide to turn your water back on after the fact. The water runs normally because nothing was broken. And so it was a natural reality for us to have this solid recovery.
Now, in the past, all governments have been criticized for their borrowing habits, but Lang says it's nothing new and sometimes it's necessary to borrow from institutions like the central bank.
What might be unusual in the circumstances is the government continues to tout the good performance of the economy, the good performance of their fiscal circumstances, and still yet have to max out these reserve opportunities from the central bank. I think that is something the government might need to speak to.
Yesterday, Prime Minister Philip Davis says he disagrees with the prediction that the economy will slow down. Lang says these reports should be looked at in perspective when predictions are made.
Only time will tell who is right or not. But again, forecasting is not a precise science, and so no one ought to look at anybody's prediction as a certainty.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks, Josh. And still talking economy, nearing the end of the winter season, a local resort is boasting nearly full occupancy and is projecting a very robust 2025. Sandals Resort Managing Director Chuck Roberts says the resort expects up to 80% occupancy this summer. He says the recent U.S. presidential election is also having an impact on travel to the Bahamas.
Because we have a new president now in the United States, so all of it based on America. We figured that a lot of persons will travel now more freely than before during COVID period, but I think a lot of persons, and we're selling and sandals every time you go on television. Executive Chairman Adam Stewart is selling sandals to the Bahamas. Sandals for El Bahamian, we have 404 rooms, and right now we don't have no room in the inn. Right now we're running full because of the groups that we're here and the dental clinic what is going on now, but our occupancy is going to be quite solid during the winter period.
Sandals closed its Exuma location, which will be transformed into a beaches hotel, turning that property into a family hotel. He projects that project will begin soon.
In conjunction with that project, we have another island called Falkey that we're going to start that project doing overwater bungalows on that island.
Well, you now have the opportunity to learn the connection between climate, currency, and central banking. The University of the Bahamas is partnering with the Global Interdependence Center to hold a series of workshops centered on just that. Organizers say it's important information for the everyday citizen. Executive Director of Government and Public Policy Institute, Zhivargo Lang, tells us what you can expect.
The conference will address issues related to, among other things, global economic prospects for 2025 and beyond, prospects for the U.S. and Bahamian currencies, including some discussions on implications of BRICS, perspectives on monetary policy from the Federal Reserve and the Bahamas Central Bank, economic resiliency issues in light of climate change, continuing de-risking issues for the regional banking system, U.S. fiscal policy into the future, and other such topics.
We have a lot more to get to tonight, but now it's time for your first look at weather. Meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us now in the Weather Center. Now, Greg, many of our American neighbors to the north are bracing for a winter storm. Can we expect any of that cool weather to impact us here?
Some. Yeah, we're going to get it for the weekend with the second front that's coming on the weekend. That's Friday time frame. But believe it or not, they're having snow in northern Florida.
So no snow here, but can we at least expect like a scarf, a jacket?
We get some cold air mass that's going to get in here, but You won't get that until the weekend. But in the meantime, it's going to be a little on the mild side, 75 degrees. Current temperature outside our studios, few clouds. It's breezy right now. Southeast winds at 50 miles per hour. Your field strike temperature is at 75. Satellite radar composite, we have a lot of clouds, moisture across Florida. That's all associated with two low pressure system. One is right across Florida, and a frontal boundary that was across the northwest Bahamas that backed up towards the north, right across that area. And then we have another low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico. That's the one that's pumping a lot of moisture and some unsettled weather, wintry weather across portions of the southeast, the Gulf Coast. Florida seeing some snow, 6 inches in some portions of the Pensacola area, that the Florida Panhandle, unheard of. But no, we're not going to get any of that snow. Just some cool air mass for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, the Organization for Responsible Governance turns 10 this year. Hear from its leadership on the journey to help Bahamians become more involved in the future of their communities and how ORG hopes to be the bridge for family islanders eager to create change. That's coming up when Our News returns. E-Block.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Italia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.
A judge has reduced bail for a woman accused of attempted murder. Anthony's Clark has been in custody since April 2024 after prosecutors say she deliberately mowed down her boyfriend with her SUV following an argument. Clark's bail was initially set at $12,000, which requires land papers to be lodged as security. But Clark asked for the sum to be reduced because she didn't have anyone who could meet this condition. Her bail has been reduced to $9,900. She's required to wear an ankle bracelet, keep a curfew, and check in with police twice a week. And the Organization for Responsible Governance turns 10 this year. Having started in 2015, ORG initially focused on things like the freedom of information and getting citizens more informed and involved in public policy. Since then, their work has expanded, having gone to 10 different islands in the past couple of years. Executive Director Matthew Aubry says the enthusiasm is noticeable in the Family Islands.
And in those communities that don't always aren't always brought into these conversations, we see a lot of hope, we see a lot of optimism, we see a lot of passion, and we also understand that they know some of the solutions to the problems that are being proposed for them. So looking at spaces where we can bring folks in earlier to that conversation, make it more meaningful, help them to drive not only the recipient of the services or the programs or the policies, but also be part of the architecture of how those get developed and understanding what are the key priorities is going to mean that our policies make sure that they have the progress that doesn't change if an administration changes, because they'll be rooted in what the community wants and needs.
For Deputy Executive Director Stefan Evans, he says a lot of their work has been in helping bridge the gap between interested active citizens and policymakers.
One of the key points of feedback that we have gotten in our travels is that a lot of folks want to be engaged, but they don't necessarily feel that their voices will be heard. And so because we are in a position where we have strong partnerships in government, the private sector, and with our colleagues in civil society, we think that we're in a unique position to help bridge some of that communication gap, to make sure that the government is listening to the people and that the people understand the function of the government, because sometimes that can be the challenge as well.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, Aiden Johnson makes it official with the A's, Devon Robinson competes on the Corn Ferry Tour, and an update from college hoops.
And later, how the Fusion Superplex hopes to redefine family entertainment in the region by opening a new lifestyle plaza and amusement park by winter 2026. We have the details when our news returns.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Joshua Williams here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button and to follow all of our social media pages. Also, don't forget to push that notification button so that you can see all of the great content from the team you already trust.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the R News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinut. Let's do show. One of the top prospects for the MLB International Signing Class for 2025, Aiden Johnson made it official with the Athletics last night. Friends and family gathered at Bahamas Harvest Church to celebrate the 16-year-old beginning his minor league journey. Johnson, a 6'2", 180-pound shortstop out of the Fortuna Training Facility in Plant City, Florida, was ranked the number 12 international prospect by MLB Pipeline.
The road hasn't always been easy. There were challenges along the way, but my mother consistently reminded me to place my trust in God, who has the ultimate plan, and to trust the process. I wouldn't have made it this far without the people who inspired and encouraged me to keep going. My parents, my brother, my friends, the FTF family, and my trainer and mentor, Jose Fortuna.
One of the franchise's top signees in this period, Johnson received a signing bonus of $1.5 million, comparable to the bonus of $1.5 million for outfielder Brayson Guides, just over $1.5 million for two-way Japanese star Shotaro Mori, and $850,000 for number 16 overall prospect Dare Gozuna. Johnson continues the family legacy on the diamond, following in the footsteps of his older brother Paris Johnson, who signed with the LA Dodgers organization in July 2022.
And I asked him, what have you learned from living with these Dominican kids in San Pedro de Macorís? And he took a minute to reflect, and he thought, I'm sorry, but he said, I just realized how great my parents are, how incredible the community I grew up in is, and the environment of the Bahamas and the support. And I think he realized that that's not the case everywhere around the world.
The second Bahamian to compete on the Corn Ferry Tour this year, Devon Robinson's run in the Great Abaco Classic came to an end. Robinson finished 11 over the first two rounds and missed the cut line of 3 under par. He opened with a 77 in round 1, followed by a 78 in round 2. The tournament has been held on the opening week of the Corn Ferry Tour annually for the last 8 years at the Abaco Club on Winding Bay. The tournament attracts professional golfers from around the world looking to advance to the PGA Tour.
Coach Yo and Ole Miss made up some ground in the SEC, while BJ Edgecombe and the Baylor Bears may be in danger of falling out of the top 25 again. With one of the toughest schedules in the nation to start the season, Ole Miss continues to fight its way back into the top 25. They defeated in-state rival Mississippi State 71-63 on the road in Starkville.
If you followed us, we've been in close games, lost some, been ahead, come from behind. But this one we had to gut out, and we knew that. So really proud of our team today.
Ole Miss improved to 13-5, 4-2 in the SEC. On the men's side, Edgecombe and the 25th ranked Bears lost a pivotal game at home to the TCU Horned Frogs 74-71. Edgecombe finished with 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals.
I mean, we focus on the next opponent. We take what we have to take from this game and move on. We can't sit on a loss.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. We know Aiden's going to the A's, but where are the A's going? Because we got to go too.
I think Sacramento. Do you think they're going to light the beam there too for that?
Ooh, light the beam. Bring it back. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, movies, restaurants, arcade games, and park rides? Find out how Fusion Superplex plans to take things a step further by opening a lifestyle plaza and amusement park in winter 2026, and the new ride, which opened today. And as a winter storm rages to the north, can we expect any cooler temperatures here at home? Greg is back in 2 minutes with your extended weather forecast.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the R News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary that was across the northwest Bahamas yesterday, it's now backed up towards the north. Low pressure system attached to that across South Florida, keeping a bit of an unsettled weather pattern across that area. That frontal boundary will begin its trek back towards the south by tomorrow, so we're looking for some increasing showers and clouds across the northwest Bahamas. Saw a bit more sunshine earlier today, but we also have a low-pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico that's getting its act together. That's the one that's providing snow, believe it or not, for portions of the Gulf Coast as well as Florida, the Panhandle. Some portions of the Panhandle seeing up to 6 inches of snow across that area, and I understand they were having some snowball fights out there, but that track will continue across the eastern portions of the United States. The low-pressure system will move into the Atlantic, and that will drag another front by the end of the week. So we're looking at 2 fronts again here, one tomorrow and one on Friday into Saturday. So we're looking at increasing clouds across the northwestern portion of the central Bahamas. So wet pattern is in store for us for the weekend. Taking a look at our future forecasts, this is how things are really looking across Florida. Most of the activity staying just to the north of Lake Okeechobee, but eventually that system will pull towards the east and it will cross our area. Some showers and thunderstorms across the southern portion of Florida could make it into our area. And then by Thursday into Friday, we expect that other system to be moving into Florida as well, and that should bring us some increasing clouds and showers during that time frame. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas. Tonight, the winds will be out of the southwest ahead of that front, but they will be shifting quickly behind north to northeast. They will be increasing in speed, 15 to 20 knots, but they will be closer to 15 to 25 knots across the northern Bahamas. 2 to 4 foot seas, building 5 to 8 feet in north to northeasterly swells. Low tide is at 7:09 tonight. Your high tide takes place at 1:37 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag for you guys down there. Your winds will be southeasterly initially, but becoming south to southwest as that front drops into our area. Speeds at 15 knots. Seas running 3 to 5 feet in some easterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, cloudy conditions tomorrow, mostly across the northwest Bahamas as that front drops into our area. But those temperatures will be near the 80-degree mark. But once that front goes through, we go into the 70s. And then on Saturday, the second front comes, get another dip in temperatures. But by early next week, those temperatures will be back to the 80s. That's a look at our weather. Marlena?
I'm happy to see those 60s numbers. We get a little extra time to kind of bring out that winter wardrobe. We don't get that much time to do it, so I'm excited.
I know some people were expecting to see some snow to get this further south. No, we're not going to get that snow. But it's unbelievable that Florida is getting snow at this time. And the snowball fights that's been going on, we won't get to do that down here. You can throw some sand, though.
I don't think that would be received as well. It's a little harder to get out of the hair. I don't advise we try that with our friends.
Yeah, but believe it or not, boating will be a challenge over the next couple of days because we do have some swells coming in, so we're asking you boaters to exercise extreme caution. Very strong winds expected across the extreme northern Bahamas tomorrow.
So it's boots, not boats.
Boots, not boats, yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Fusion Superplex is about to transform and redefine family entertainment in the region by opening a lifestyle plaza and an amusement park in winter 2026. The new development will feature activities for all ages and include an amphitheater, a teen club, and park rides. As they gear up for their second phase, Fusion launched the Zero Gravity Whirlpool ride today. Marketing coordinator Charisma Roker gives us the details.
The Whirlpool is just, like I said, a sneak peek or a teaser onto what's coming in winter 2026. If you haven't taken a spin as yet, we're open every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, we're open from 5 to 9, and on Sunday, we're open from 12 to 9.
On behalf of the entire team, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard. Have a great evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
We go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport.